Don't yuck my yum is a phrase that is commonly said in the sex therapy language. I know you're probably not in the sex therapy world, but I do want you to hear this. Don't yuck my yum. What it means is don't criticize something that somebody else finds sexy or fun or exciting. And actually, when you're talking with a partner about different sexual things, I would like to also warn you against yucking your partner's potential yum and your potential yum. Here's how you do that. So say you watch something or you read something or you hear about some sex act, like you're in a friend group and somebody's like, I did this, blah, 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 whatever this is, I don't know, anal sex or something. All right. So if you just casually anal sex. But so if you hear this thing and your first thought is, oh, I would just never do that. That's so disgusting. You are yucking your yum or your potential yum, or you're yucking your partner's potential yum. You essentially put a blanket criticism out on that sexual act. And if your partner or you may be interested in that sort of thing with a little tweak or a little adjustments, it basically people put a barrier in their brain like, oh, that's never going to happen. I'll never bring that up again because you've essentially yucked potential yums. And so again, this is kind of a part 2 to my first video there about like staying curious. One of the ways to avoid yucking people's yums is to stay very curious. So when somebody brings up a topic about sex or sexuality, any topic, even if it seems really far-fetched, don't yuck someone's yum. Don't yuck your own potential yum, but like stay in a curious spot. And another way to stay in that curious spot is to ask yourself, I wonder what people do get out of that situation. So we'll use anal sex because why not? So when somebody brings up anal sex, you might first recoil because you're like, I don't know. What if it's painful? I don't know what that looks like. So it's okay. Move out of that judgmental space to curious. Ask yourself, I wonder what people do get out of anal sex. Like, what is the thing that they like about that? And all you're doing is asking questions, very open-ended. You can actually ask a partner or a person if you're in like a group of friends who brings it up, although it's very rare, honestly. Well, I'm just saying, if you're in that friend group or if you are watching the show in front of somebody, you might ask, what do you think they do get out of this? What do you think people like about anal sex? And that conversation can spark, well, it might not be full penetration, but there are nerve endings on the anus and they actually feel pretty good to be touched. So I don't know that I'd be 100% open to like anal penetration, but I might be open to somebody rubbing my anus or licking my anus because I've heard that's a thing. Have you heard of eating ass? I've heard of that actually. So that conversation, staying in a curious space, means there's an openness to a potential yum. But if you automatically go into that critical space, then people don't feel safe, they hold back, and they might like categorize it in their brain as like, don't ever talk about anal stuff around them ever again. So my challenge to you, don't yuck my yum or anyone else's yum or any potential yum. If you would like to see me, please submit a contact form at therapistintstlouis.com. Also, please like and subscribe.